From the land down under, with the rock at its centre, comes the little Aussie Watchman. Sky News is banned from Victorian Metro train stations. Yep, you heard it right. The premier news channel for conservative voices in Australia was banned from being played in Victorian Metro stations. The charge by the crazy left-wing politician who pulled this stunt was, wait for it, racism. And how was the news channel racist? Wait for it, it interviewed a racist. Should the interview itself have anything particularly objectionable? No. Essentially about the rise of African youth violence in Melbourne, which is a real and measurable phenomenon. The man himself is certainly objectionable. He's a neo-Nazi who once called for a photograph of Hitler to be hung in every classroom. He has been described as a thug and has a significant criminal record. Of course, there was no backlash from the left-wing when left-wing organisations interviewed this thug and gave him a platform, such as the ABC. The message is multifold. 1. Conservative interviewers are no longer allowed to interview people who are considered to be politically incorrect. 2. Left-wing news media are not held to the same standard as right-wing news media. 3. Nazism is right-wing when, of course, an honest student of history can tell that in fact the Nazi Party was very left-wing. This is why it was called the National Workers' Socialist Party. 4. The government in Victoria, a left-wing government, considers that it has the power to control free speech. To be perfectly clear, that unsanctioned and unholy interview was never played at metro stations. Sky provides news bulletins and weather to the train stations and not opinion shows. But that does not matter because the enemy, press, must be shut down at all costs, just as Facebook, Google, YouTube, Apple and Spotify have been cracking down on right-wing organisations following the surprise election win of Donald Trump. So too, left-wing Australian governments want to shut down rival political discourse. It's the old story. If you can't beat them in a debate, make sure you can silence them. Silence them any way you know how. Call them racist, feminists, bigots, homophobes, xenophobes, Nazis. If that doesn't work, remove their funding, their advertisers and their airtime. The left wing doesn't play fair because it can't win with a reasoned discussion. It wins with fear and intimidation. It fights with claws and not logic. It tries to paint all those on the right with the crazies, the neo-Nazis. The right wing doesn't respond in kind by claiming all left-wing actors are Leninites or Stalin worshippers. The right wing generally tries to play by the rules. The mental grip that the left wing have on some of its more fanatical supporters is downright scary. In the US, it has led to multiple assaults of Trump supporters and an assassination attempt on Republicans at a baseball game. The onslaught of slander has led the fanatics to paint their political opponents as evil. This not only allows them to ban them from the airways, but it also allows them to murder their political opponents.